Hi, my name is Ayano,
Hi, I'm Shay.
and we're going to talk about the most recent Consumer Price Index, also known as CPI.
So, CPI stands for Consumer Price Index, which measures the change in prices paid by consumers for goods and services. It is based on prices of food, clothing, shelter, transportation, doctors, services, drugs, and other goods and services that people buy for day-to-day living, which are included in the CPI market basket, like the picture in the slide.
Prices of most goods and services are obtained by personal visits or telephone calls by the Bureau's trained representatives. Prices are collected each month in 75 urban areas across the country, from about 5,000 housing units and approximately 22,000 retail establishments, like department stores, supermarkets, hospitals, filing stations, and other types of stores and service establishments.
So, in order to calculate CPI, add together a sampling of product prices from a previous year, then add together the current prices of the same products, divide the total of current prices by the old prices, then multiply the result by 100. Finally, to find the percent change in CPI, subtract 100.
The CPI currently tracks the spending patterns of two population groups: all urban consumers and urban wage earners and clerical workers. The CPIU is a more general index and seeks to track retail prices as they affect all urban consumers. It encompasses about 87% of the US population. The CPIW is a more specialized index and seeks to track retail prices as they affect urban hourly wage earners and clerical workers. It encompasses about 32% of the US population and is a subset of the CPIU group. The CPIW places a slightly higher weight on food, apparel, transportation, and other goods and services. It places a slightly lower weight on housing, medical care, and recreation. The food index was unchanged in September. The index for food at home fell 0.1% in September, with major grocery store food group indices mixed. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs fell 1% in September, with all its major component indices falling. The fruits and vegetables index also fell, declining 0.5%. The index for dairy and related products declined 0.3%. The index for cereals, bakery products, and bakery products increased 0.6%, as did the index for non-alcoholic beverages. The index for food away from home rose 0.2% in September, the same increase as in August. All the major grocery store food group indices rose mostly over the period, except for the index for dairy and related products, which was unchanged. Overall, the food at home index remained practically the same as the 6 months before it, showing that the food patterns haven't changed significant enough in the market to make a difference. The same is true for the food away from home index.
The energy index declined 0.5% in September after rising 1.9% in August. After rising 3% in August, the gasoline index declined slightly in September, falling 0.2%. The electricity index fell 0.5% in September after rising in August, and the index for natural gas, which also increased in August, fell 1.7% in September. The gasoline index rose 9.1% over the last 12 months, while the electricity and natural gas indexes both declined, falling 1.2%. Gas and oil prices also rise when the value of the dollar declines. Seasonal demand also affects oil and gas prices.
The shelter index increased 0.2%, and the indices for apparel, motor vehicle insurance, recreation, and airline fares also rose. The medical care index increased as well, though its components were mixed. The index for used cars and trucks, which fell sharply, and the new vehicles index were among the indices that declined in September. In conclusion, the All Foods, less Food and Energy index increased 0.2%, showing that there was no significant price increase on goods and services like apparel, automobiles, recreational activities, airline fares, and medical care. The reasons why these main groups are documented is because they absorb most of the money spent on goods and services, not including food and energy.